Hello mga kabayan! Welcome to our Peos for Skilled Worker. For this video, we will tackle about module number 5. The catchword is seal the deal, the employment contract. The most important document that you should have if you are going to work overseas is the employment contract. An employment contract is a written agreement between you and your employer that stipulates the terms and conditions of your employment. It is your best protection as a migrant worker. After being pre-selected for the job and knowing the fees to pay, you are just about ready to get a copy of the employment contract. Do not sign the document until you have entirely read and understood its contents. Make sure that the terms and conditions are clear and acceptable to you, since you will bind yourself to a legal and enforceable contract in the Philippines and the host country. Go over the list of the minimum provisions, read each one carefully. Reminder, kabayan, seek the assistance of the DMW if you have any concern. Minimum provisions of an employment contract: place of assignment or specific work site. The building, street, city, or district, and province of your work site must be clearly stated. This should not be changed upon your arrival in the host country. Length of the contract: you are hired for a specific time period. This starts from the date you leave the Philippines and the date you will return. Extending your stay does not mean an automatic adjustment in your salary, position, or designation. This is very crucial. Make sure your designation is clearly stated. There are salary rates for specific positions or job designations. Make sure you perform the tasks specified in the contracted position. Work schedule of 8 hours per day and 6 days a week. As overseas worker, you are required to render 8 hours of work per day, 5 or 6 days a week. Number of rest days must be clearly stated in the contract. Basic monthly salary: this is the amount you will receive for the working hours rendered. It should be clearly stipulated in the contract. Your employer may assist you in remitting a percentage of your salary through the proper banking channel or other means authorized by law. Overtime pay rate: this is the pay you will receive for the work you will be asked to perform over and above the regular 8 hours. Make sure you are familiar how this is computed. Free transportation to and from work site: your employer must provide you with free transportation going to and returning from the work site. If the employer will not provide this, make sure there is an equivalent amount to cover for transportation expenses, or there are other benefits to compensate. Free food and accommodation: your employer must provide you with free food and accommodation while in the work site. If the employer will not provide this, make sure there is an equivalent amount to cover for food and accommodation expenses, or there are other benefits to compensate. Vacation leave, sick leave, medical, and dental benefits. You are entitled to vacation leave and sick leave. Know the number of sick and vacation leaves available to you for the duration of your contract. Your free annual medical and dental examinations must also be included in the contract. Compensation in case of work-related disablement or injury: although compulsory insurance coverage provides compensation for work-related disablement or injury, make sure that this particular provision is still included in your employment contract. The amount of compensation must be clearly stated. Repatriation of remains and personal belongings: the repatriation of remains and personal belongings is the responsibility of the employer. In case repatriation is not possible, arrangements with regard to the remains will be made with the Philippine Embassy or Consulate and or the next of kin. Termination of contract: in as much as your employer has a list of obligations to fulfill to ensure your productive engagement in the work site, there are also a number of causes that your services may be terminated. These include serious misconduct, willful disobedience of employer's lawful orders, habitual neglect of duties, absenteeism, insubordination, revealing secrets of establishment, violation of customs, traditions, and laws of the host country and or terms of the employment contract. In this situation, you will shoulder your repatriation expenses. You too can terminate your own contract when the employer is at fault. These causes include the following: serious insult from the employer or his representative, inhumane and unbearable treatment accorded to employee by the employer or his representative, commission of a crime offense by the employer or his representative, violation of the terms and conditions of the employment contract by the employer or his representative. In any of these cases, your employer shall shoulder your repatriation expenses. You may also terminate the contract without just cause by serving 1.5 month in advance written notice to the employer. If you fail to serve the 1 month notice, your employer may hold you liable for damages and you will pay for your repatriation expenses. In case you get ill or injured, you or your employer may terminate the contract. In this regard, your employer pays for the repatriation expenses. And finally, contract signing. Take a deep breath, then sign the employment contract. This signed contract will be processed at the DMW and will be returned to you together with the following: Overseas Employment Certificate or OEC, Pre-Departure Orientation Seminar, PDOS Certificate, Passport, Visa. One last reminder, do not agree to have these documents given to you only at the airport. That is all for our module number 5. Thank you for listening and see you at module 6.